Hi, it's Bella Clever and Co. from AriesFireAstrology.com. So today I'm gonna tell you how to find out a good way to see how you are how compatible you are with someone. Not like not how much or less you are, but in Vedic astrology, it's house triggers. So it's not just when you compare like to Aries or an Aries and a Taurus or Gemini. It's when you look at the ascendant sun and moon of a person and look at the other person's ascendant sun and moon. I have stuff written down here. It's hard to write because I'm left-handed, but anyway, hope you can read this okay. So when you compare the ascendant sun and moon of one person's to the other person's, it'll trigger a certain house. So to figure that out, and it'll, okay, first of all, let me say this. So it's best to compare your ascendant and moon, your ascendant and someone else's moon sign, or your ascendant and someone else's sun sign. That's the most accurate way. The other combinations will be to a certain extent, but it might be less. And you also have to, like, see what's going on with you and someone else. If you notice that it's two moon signs being triggered the most, then it is, whatever. But for the most part, it's ascendant and moon, or ascendant and sun the most, and to a lesser degree, two sun signs, or two ascendant signs, or whatever. So, and if I forget anything, which who knows, I might. There's a lot of information, little details to tell you about. I'll put it in the description on the YouTube video when I upload it. So anyway, to figure this out, let me see if I can get this right. Okay. So let's say someone's ascendant sign is Aries and someone's moon sign is Cancer. So you count from Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. That's 4. So it's the 4th house that's being triggered for Aries. Aries, 4th house. So whatever the 4th house is, which I'm going to make a completely different video and explain the actual houses, what each one is. Here I'm going to explain all of those in a different video. So I want to get the other details in this video. So, and then from Cancer, Leo, Virgo down to Pisces, and then you go back up, around, down to Cancer again. That's 10. So it's the 10th house being triggered for Cancer. So when an Aries and Cancer are together, the Cancer is going to trigger Aries' 4th house. So Cancer is going to influence the Aries to want to be a part of fourth house thing. So then when you look at the other way, it's to a lesser extent, but Aries triggers Cancer's 10th house. So Aries influences Cancer to, want to be a part of 10th house things, which is career things. 4th is home and buying property and stuff. Anyway, I will explain that in another video. So, and like Aries and Taurus, that's 2. You count from Aries to Taurus, Aries to Cancer. Like, you don't count when you're going from Aries to Cancer. You don't start counting from Taurus down. You count from Aries down to Cancer, or Cancer, back around up down through again to Aries. I mean, you start with the sign you're starting with, not the next one like you do in counting for times or dates or weeks or whatever. Anyway, so okay. So when you have an ascendant, and I have noticed, like I said, like 2 sun signs, I've noticed some compatibility, ascendant, sun, and moon house triggers going on with me and some people where it was, like to a lesser extent, like whenever I explain the videos, whenever I explain these in the other video, I'm always going to tell you it's when you're comparing you and someone else, you look at your ascendant sign and their moon sign, or your ascendant sign or theirs and your sun sign, and then okay, so an Aries ascendant or lesser extent Aries sun or moon, and someone else's moon sign in Cancer, or to a lesser extent their ascendant or sun sign. That's how I explain it, because that's always the way it is. Like, the other ones are lesser extents, but like I was saying, I've noticed me and some people. I had a friend long time ago. It was his 12th house being triggered, so he was always the one giving to me, being nice to me, just being helpful or whatever. Just being a good friend or whatever. So, and that might have been a lesser one of those. I don't know, but where 2 sun signs can trigger each other, to be their sun signs more. So that is, a lesser extent, but some situations are that way because that's what you need at the moment, and the universe just, helps you out with that naturally and, gives you what you need. So anyway, so when you look at 2 Aries, ascendant sun or moon Aries person, and another ascendant sun or moon Aries person, that always triggers the first house for both of you. That's the ascendant sign. That's the house of the ascendant sign. The first house is. That's always about yourself. That makes you be yourself more, which is a very positive thing for everything, every situation you can be in. You always need to be yourself. That's a very good house. And then, let me explain another thing. Okay. From 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 6 signs, and then the next 6 signs are the opposites of the first. So Aries and Libra, Taurus and Scorpio are opposites. Gemini and Sagittarius are opposites. Cancer and Capricorn are opposites. Leo and Aquarius are opposites. And Virgo and Pisces are opposites. So, whenever you have opposites in ascendant, sun, or moon, like Aries, and then you have the other person's ascendant, sun, or moon, Libra, it always will trigger the 7th house for both of you, which is the equal give and take, learning how to relate to each other house, or doing equal give and take business things together. It's a house that helps you learn, like how to respect each other the most. It's the house that helps out with that the most. And Libra is naturally ruled by the 7th house also, just to let you know. Anyway, because it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th house that they're associated with. So that's the first two. And then whenever you have two signs next to each other, like Aries and Taurus, Taurus and Gemini, Gemini and Cancer, you know, Libra, Scorpio, Aquarius, Pisces, Pisces, and Aries, you know, it's always going to trigger the 2nd house for the one and the 12th for the other. 2nd house is the one that be the most. So like Aquarius and Pisces, Pisces triggers Aquarius's 2nd house. But then Aquarius, you go down and up, around, and again, down again. It triggers Pisces' 12th house. So Pisces is the one giving to Aquarius, which was my situation. I knew of a Pisces that was like that. Or Cancer and Leo. Leo triggers Cancer's 2nd house. Cancer triggers Leo's 12th house. So Leo will be giving to Cancer. Yeah, I'm saying that right. Okay. Then there's a 3rd and 11th. So Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Leo triggers Gemini's 3rd house, which is a cool house. I love the house. It's the house of joking around, like being competitive in a good way, like, you know, just having a good time, or, you know, trying out new things that you want to learn that you're maybe even afraid to learn. One person triggers that in the other person. It'll influence them to, you know, get out of their comfort zone and try something new, or, you know, have a fun joking time with each other. Like, it can be the house of siblings, but it also can be for romantic relationships, obviously. It's a really cool house. I love it. So, 3rd house, like Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Leo triggers Gemini's 3rd house. Influences Gemini to be that way more. And then Leo would be too. And then Gemini triggers Leo's 11th house, which is the house of friendships and everything. Which, like I said, I'll explain that in the other video. Anyway. And like I said, Aries and Cancer, that's the 4th and 10th. Cancer triggers Aries' 4th house, and then Aries triggers Cancer's 10th house. And the 5th. So, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Leo triggers Aries' 5th house. And then, so Leo influences Aries to want to be a part of 5th house things. And then when you count the other way, from Leo down and up around again to Aries, it triggers Leo's 9th house, which I'll explain then. So Aries influences Leo to do, or be a part of 9th house things. And 6th and 8th. So, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, that's a good one. So Sagittarius down and up around again to Aries. That's the 6th and 8th. And then from Aries to Sag, it's the other number. 8. So Sag triggers Aries' 8th house. Aries triggers Sagittarius' 6th house. So, and also, whenever you look at this, and you're thinking, okay, the whatever second and 12th house is gonna happen now, and it doesn't. Maybe you want to have me, look at your birth charts to see what's going on, to tell you why it's not that way. Because if you're hoping, like, the 12th house is the house of giving, it's a karmic house, but it's a house. A lot of marriage couples have this. It's good. It's not all bad. It in some situations where you leave the person or whatever, or leave the friendship, or when it's like a meeting of like an hour with a person, it triggers that one, and they're giving to you, nice to you. It's not always in marriages, but it can be. So if you're around a person, if you look at your birth chart and someone else's, and you see your ascendant sun or moon triggering their 12th house and they're not being given to you, you gotta look at their whole personality and see what's going on. Like a Pluto square Venus, that's gonna be like a selfish, one-sided aspect. Venus is love, and Pluto's like manipulative, and all those kind of things, controlling and stuff. So, which Neptune could help that out. And then in that case, maybe the person would want to be the kind of giving person that it's naturally triggering, or if there's Saturn or something, it could help that out. So you gotta look at if you're like freaking out because you're hoping this guy or girl is someone you're hoping to date or something isn't being that way to you, or if your boss isn't, or if you're the one, if you're in your work situation and your 12th house is triggered by your boss and you're always giving to them more, but then your 7th houses are being triggered and it's not happening that way more, you gotta look at everything in the birth chart to see what's going on. And also you want to look at sometimes, if you're interested in knowing what's going on more, look at the ruler of each of these, because some rulers of these are naturally friends, enemies, or neutral, which I have on my website, ariesfireastrology.com. Or ask me if you have a question about it. So for that, you want to look at Aries' natural ruler is Mars, Taurus is Venus, Gemini is Mercury, Cancer's is the Moon, Leo's is the Sun, Virgo's is Mercury, Libra is Venus, Scorpio's is Mars, Sagittarius is Jupiter, Capricorn and Aquarius are Saturn, Pisces is Jupiter. So you want to look at all of those rulers and see if they're friends or enemies also. Because, like, for example, if you're trying to think about like what you want to do if you got in some situation where you're interested in two people but you're not dating them or something, you want to look at the ascendant sun and moon, and also the same or opposite is a good thing in compatibility, and the degrees matter. The closer in degree, it's better. So you want to look at that, and see if more of them, or if there's one that isn't friends and the other two of you doesn't have any of their friends or something. You want to look at that also to see if that's maybe gonna help you out to figure out what you want to do. So yeah, I think I pretty much covered this video. I'll make the other video explaining each one. So Let me see. Let me see how, if I can explain one more thing in this video. So, this might take a long time, but let's see if I can. Aries and Taurus is 2nd and 12th house. Taurus and Gemini, 2nd and 12th house. Gemini and Cancer is Cancer and Leo. Leo and Virgo. And Virgo and Libra. Libra and Scorpio. That's the 2nd and 12th. Like Scorpio and Libra. Scorpio triggers Libra's 2nd house. And Libra triggers Scorpio's 12th house. Scorpio and Sag and Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces and Aries, 2nd and 12th house. And then Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So Gemini triggers Aries' 3rd house. Aries triggers Gemini's 11th house. So Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. So Cancer triggers Taurus's 3rd house, and Taurus triggers Cancer's 11th house. Now I'm not going to do that all the way down, but do you see what I mean now? That would take a long time. I'm going to have to I'll just write something down for the other video, and then I will explain all of these. So you have to count Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. That's the 4th house. You know, so like Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, whatever I said. You know, you count, go back down and up, around again and down to figure out. Because you always go from Aries to Pisces in this order that is written here. That's always the order you count in. Because from March to April is Aries, April to May is Taurus, through the calendar, from March down, and then Pisces is February and March. So that's why it's this order. So I hope you understand. If you don't, feel free to ask me questions. So I will record the other video explaining what each one of these means, and then I will write something down about each compatibility, like Cancer and Libra's, 4th and 10th house, and Scorpio and Sag, 2nd and 12th house. I'll write down all of those or something so you can see that also.